Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be taking part in some historic best of one. So, today I thought we'd be messing around with another Luras deck. Don't know how many Luras decks I've played on the channel actually. I know I've played a fair few on stream, but this deck's just, this card specifically, it's just busted. It goes really easily into a lot of things. So today we're going to be playing a blue-white Bogles list, which is something that I've been meaning to get to for some time. For those who've been on the channel quite some time, you'll know that I'm a little bit obsessed with Bogles lists. I love enchantments. It's probably one of my favourite card types, and I really love making a big boy. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So this deck is quite simple, and it's going to play out roughly the same way each time, I would imagine. So I've got three categories, or four technically, categories of cards here that we're going to talk about. So Bogles, as it stands, is all about putting a creature into play and then sticking loads of enchantments on it. Typically, Bogles, traditionally anyway, are hexproof creatures, but in our case, they're basically well-protected creatures. So, in our first category, we've got lots of protection here. We've got 2 copies of Dive Down and 3 copies of Spell Pierce. Dive Down giving hexproof, sorry, and +0/+3 to whatever creature we want. And then we've got 3 copies of Spell Pierce as well to stop those early game board wipes, should our opponent have one. Other than that, though, the other protection pieces are actually found in our enchantments. We've got 2 copies of Starlit Mantle, a +1/+1 and hexproof until the end of the turn. It has flash as well, so we can slap that onto our creatures in response to some removal. And I really wanted at least 2 copies of this particular aura, because it's something that we can just get back with Luras as well. If our creature would die, Luras allows us to play a permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from our graveyard. It's not going to allow us to Starlit Mantle in response, but it is just going to be another aura that Luras can get out of the graveyard anyway. And Luras itself is very much a good Boggle target as well, a 3/2 lifelink that can just basically start getting lit up with enchantments, giving vigilance. We can play Alseeds from the graveyard to give protection. Our creature package, for the record, the best one that we could probably put things on is Mistcloaked Herald, a 1-mana 1/1 that can't be blocked. I'm sure most of you hate this one from the mono blue tempo days. It's very much in the deck for exactly the same reason. It's an unblockable creature that we can just stick all of our auras onto, and then the rest of the creatures can protect. So we've got Alseid, a 1-mana 1/1 that can sacrifice to give a creature or enchantment protection from the color of your choice. So in the case of like Mistcloaked Herald, sorry, if it gets attacked with anything, we can just sack Alseid in response to give protection from that color, and our opponent whiffs on their removal. We can then play Luras to get back Alseid from the graveyard, rinse and repeat. We've also got Siren Storm Tamer for exactly the same reason. 1 blue for 1/1 flyer makes it a slightly better target because we get the evasion from the flying. We can pay 1 blue to counter a spell or an ability that targets a creature we control. So a Ravenous Chupacabra's triggered ability will get countered, cast downs and things like that will all get countered with Siren Storm Tamer, and yet again Luras can play it from the graveyard. So Luras has kind of pseudo hexproof in a way. Since you are able to get back these protection spells, that's really useful, and we can sack them and replay them, so we can build up a Luras that is very well protected, and it has lifelink built into it as well, so the bigger it is, the more the rest of our opponent's board just doesn't really matter. Finally, we've got Spectral Sailor as well, just as a nice filler card as well. 1-mana 1/1 flash flying. You can pay 4 mana to draw a card, but that's not really going to be an issue with us. Hopefully, we're going to be card advantaging our opponent to death. Specifically, the reason why I wanted to play this in Historic is because of the inclusion of Curious Obsession and Staggering Insight in the exact same format. So Curious Obsession is a 1-mana blue +1/+1. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card, and at the beginning of your end step, if you didn't attack with a creature, you sacrifice Curious Obsession. So in the case of like our flyers and our unblockables, that's not really going to happen. If we're putting it on Sailor or Alseid, though, we've got that little bit of a risk. We want to be making our creatures big enough to swing into our opponent. But with Luras being able to reanimate things as well, that's not going to be too much of an issue either. We've got Staggering Insight as well, which does exactly the same thing. However, this one does not drop off if you don't attack, but it does cost a little bit more, but it does give you lifelink as part of that additional cost, which is cool. We've talked about Starlit Mantle, and finally our pump spells are going to be Sentinel's Eyes, 1 white enchant creature, gives it +1/+1 on vigilance, so our lifelinkers can block and attack at the same time. And then all that glitters is our big final finisher card, essentially. 2 mana to give +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment you control. So all those enchantments we're going to be sticking on are going to be pumping our creatures even further. But yeah, the deck's pretty simple. Got a nice mana base here. I think it's 21. Yes, 21 lands. 6 plains, 7 islands. Because we got, by the way, 69% of our deck is blue. So we're skewed slightly towards the blue here. We don't want tap lands in our deck, before you ask. Because we want to be playing on turn 1 every single time. We want to have a play on turn 2 every single time. So we don't want to tap land on turn 1 or 2, which means we can't play tap lands. So we've got a nice split of things here. So we can't play Fabled Passage, and we can't play Temples, and we can't play Triumphs, for example. They're just not going to work. But we got Glacial Fortress and Hallowed Fountain. Every single land, apart from Glacial Fortress on the odd occasion, comes into play untapped, and we should be able to play off of it as well. This should be something we can do every single turn at least. So, without further ado, let's get into the gameplay. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in, and our opponent's also choosing to have 8 cards in their opening hand, so they're going with Obosh the Prey Piercer. 5 mana 3/5 Companion. Says the restriction is that they can only have odd converted mana cost cards in their deck, so 1, 3, 5. If a source you control with an odd converted mana cost would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. So all I really have to worry about from our opponent is that they're going to have like shocks and things like that. I think this hand's perfectly acceptable for that because we've got Mistcloaked Herald on 1, we can protect it on 2, and then when we find a nice little window, we can stick a Staggering Insight on it. So we should be okay. I think the double damage isn't going to matter, especially that we've got the lifelink here. We should be at like 40 life before it really even matters, but we'll have to see. If they start just shotgunning down all of our creatures, then we might have a little bit of an issue, who knows. So do I want to go with Spectral Sailor here? Or do I just want to place down a Mistcloaked Herald? It's a tough one. Herald is like the best thing to go for. But then again, like Spectral Sailor is a flying creature, and I don't really expect a Rakdos or mono red deck to actually have flyers, so I think this is about as unblockable as a Mistcloaked Herald is, but this one has flash, so I kind of favor this one a little bit more. But yeah, pretty much guaranteed anything that we played there was going to get shocked anyway. So now, next turn we can go Glacial Fortress, Storm Tamer, Flashing Sailor. Oh, playing Gruul, okay. So Fortress, we'll play Storm Tamer. Almost at the point where we can actually slap down some enchantments. Next turn we can, or end step we can flash in a Spectral Sailor and stick a Staggering Insight on it with a dive down to protect. So they look to have another, yeah, okay, Bone Crusher Giant, that's fine. I guess I should have countered that, actually, shouldn't I? I would have sent it to the graveyard. That was a mistake. Krenko! Oh my. Alright, so they're tapped out. We're going to go Spectral Sailor. And yeah, now we're actually in a weird position where if we attack... If we attack, our opponent's going to be able to swing back as well. I think we're fine with that, though. Let's just get the card draw going. Give me something good. All it glitters. Alright, that's something that we can use to race Krenko. Not efficiently, but we can do it. And then later down the line we've got Luros. We can play Storm Tamer off of that. Grum Gully. Alright. Seems as though they've run out of shocks and things. So they get to swing in. They get loads of tutus. Yeah, that's probably going to win the race. At this pace anyway. I guess I have to just, like, flash in a Spectral Sailor and hope they don't have an answer. Or are they just going to try and... Okay. Well, dive down. Another Staggering Insight. So... Are we going all in? I think we're going all in. I don't know if we've got really a better option, to be honest. 6/6 lifelinker. Sentinel's Eyes is very good. Storm Tamer can be pretty decent as well. So they're going to get another swing, but then we've got a Vigilant creature, and that's going to stop them in their tracks. Vigilant creature with Storm Tamer protection as well. But yeah, they've got a pretty big board here. I doubt they've got 2-for-1 potential, and I doubt they've got a card that deals 6 damage on its own. Curious Obsession. Okay, so Sentinel's Eyes. Give it a lot here. Give it a lot. It's a 10/10 Vigilant with the ability to counter if they target with lifelink. And yeah, we just won. Alright, so we played a little bit of a couple of mistakes there. I certainly should have countered that Bone Crusher Giant, but it came down a lot later to the point where it didn't matter. I think we got quite lucky on some of our enchantments as well, like the Sentinel's Eyes. If we hadn't have found that there, I think we would have lost this game. But the fact that we have a 10 life gaining card, even if they were on like 11, we have like a really good swing there. We'd be at 24, we'd be able to go up to 34 just on a block and kill their best creature. I just don't think they stand a chance at that point, especially with protection as well. So like if they had an answer to our Storm Tamer, we sack our little birdie boy here. We probably find a land on the next attack, which means we get to go Luros, play Storm Tamer, and we have the 1 extra mana to give protection once again to our creature, so there's really just no stopping this deck. Alright, we're in, and unfortunately we've got 0 creatures. If even one of these enchantments, I think specifically like Alder Glitters, if this was a creature, this would be an absolute snap keep. But alas, it is not. But this hand looks sexy, so we're going to keep this one. We will go down a Sentinel's Eyes. We do kind of only need 1 creature to win the game. However, if we go turn 1 Herald and they kill it, then obviously we need the backup. Ornithopter. Okay. So it's going to be the artifacts kind of matter. Ooh, Curious Obsession of their own. Curious. Oops, indeed. Oops, oh my god. I've got to keep that in, right? That's just shameful, opponent. Oh, god. The shame. The shame. Usually I don't keep in, like, turn 1 scoops, but that one's just too good. Oh, dear. Alright, well, next game. Alrighty then, we're in. Ooh, a 1-lander with a Spectral Sailor, and every card is god tier. Oh, I could lose to myself taking this hand. Better go out on my own terms, right? Land go. Opponent, Hinterland Harbour. Alright, come on, land drop. I'm so good at Magic the Gathering, it's unbelievable. Alright, Staggering Insight on Sailor, swing and draw. We've almost paid for our Sailor at this point, so if we get 1 more swing in, if our opponent kills Sailor, we've replaced it entirely. We've even got a Stormcloak. A Mistcloaked Herald, from which to do some shenanigans. Ooh, wow. That's some nice rampage there. Unlucky for them, we've got Spell Pierce if they've got Nissa, so let's just do another Staggering Insight and make them block with that Grazer. And then we're drawing 2 cards a turn after that, unless they've got more Grazers. They want me to draw. They can't know that Grazer has reach. There's no way in the world that's correct. Unless they think they have removal. So it's now a 3/4 reaching Mutator. Okay. We've got red in the mix, by the way. A 3/4 reach. It's not going to be too good for them because we've already drawn our cards. And we're going to be putting Sentinel's Eyes on our creature, so it's going to be a 4/4 Vigilance. With Dive Down and Spell Pierce protection. Do I want both? I might want double Spell Pierce. So I'm going to just swing in like this. See if I can draw, what, 2 more cards? Yeah, 2 more cards. Thank you. Really odd plays from our opponent. You do not let this deck draw cards. That is like asking to lose. Yeah, we're just going to pass. I don't know what we could do here, but now we've got double Spell Pierce Dive Down protection. That's getting... Yes. To be honest, that's not even that scary. It's probably what follows it that's scary, though. So if they've got more non-creatures, I might not be able to pay for it. And yeah, really weird from our opponent. I don't know why they let us draw 4 cards there, but I guess they didn't want to win. Okay then, we're in. We've got creatures and no enchantments. Yeah, I don't really want to be rolling off the top with a hand like this, so I think I'm going to mull. We've got all planes, but we do have our creatures and our enchantments. I could go lower. This looks... Ooh, sketchy. All planes and an island I need. I'm gonna have to go lower. Alright, fine. Sentinel's Eyes. Hallowed Fountain. It's gotta be Dive Down. Turn 1 Storm Tamer. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if our Luros can bring us back into this game. Well, we got an All That Glitters. As it stands, that's not really doing anything that Sentinel's Eyes isn't doing, so... I don't know, on the off chance that they want to attack my hand. Or attack me personally in a way I don't like, then I can Storm Tamer it. I don't know. Maybe I should have gone All That Glitters. It's a weird one. Yeah, I guess I should have. Well, we're just suiting up. Sounds like a 4-colour pile now. I want to get that pressure in as early as possible, take advantage of the inconsistency to a certain extent. Mu Yang Ling. -2, -0. So I could do Alseed, Pump the Squad, Obsession, Pump the Storm Tamer. Do I attack Mu Yang Ling? I think I do. I believe I do. I would like to be flying from now on. Now we've got to be really careful, because we're getting into the territory where, like, Elspeth Conquers Death can be a thing. We're already, like, in Banishing Light territory, which is not great. Fey of Wish is just a block. That's what you love to see. Land, on the other hand, not in our hand. Not a fan of that. Opponent's just going to take the damage. Okay, so we're really looking for a land. Get Mistcloaked Herald. Well, I'm going to play it, because I'm not going to be using Storm Tamer's activated ability, and I'm only going to be using Alseeds. So I only need 1 mana to do that. They are 5-colour. Time Wipe. Boo. Land. Spectral Sailor. Works for me. Time to rebuild, boys. Gonna need a land. They have Fey of Wishes for granted. Okay, so going into the sideboard to find something horrible. It's going to be Gilded Lotus. That is not horrible at all. That is preferable. Alright, just flash this in. Get a land. Love it. Let's do... Are we doing Luros? Play Luros. We've got Curious Obsession Alder got his next turn. Actually, I don't have the double white. Never mind. Let's just do all the glitters. Get him for 2. Take him to 5. This is a weird one now, because now they can go Gilded Lotus, land Yorion, and tap Gilded Lotus. Angrath. Yeah, that'll do it. Can't win through that.
Here be monsters.
Can't win through that one.
Your crew for my freedom.
So every creature we play can be stolen by Angrath and dies on land step. Can't play Lurrus. A little bit color screwed. Alright, Sentinel's Eyes is not in our hand. I don't know what we could draw here that really gets us out of this. I think we're just too far behind now. I mean, that's what you get for mulling so low, but it says a lot about the deck when we got our opponent to 5. We still almost managed to win this game. A little less interaction from our opponent and then they would have lost it. I think they needed literal time wipe, I think. So our board state was ready to kill them.
No fire, no steel.
I wonder if the swing at Mu Yangling was maybe a mistake, because I would have had an extra card. That's not going to do us too much good, unfortunately. Guess I might as well play it. But it's just not going to work. I bet it's already dead. Are you going to stomp me? Send it wherever. Doesn't matter, they block with Fate of Wishes or kill it anyway. Yep. Land, Gilded Lotus, 5 mana or 6 mana, so they can play Yorion, reset Angrath, Fairy. Alright, so this game was very much in our hands had we just had a good opening hand. There was no way we were losing this, but yeah, now there's no way we're winning it. I'll see what we top deck and then we'll move on.
No steel.
Had we Lurrust, maybe we'd have had a chance. So we've got all of this to our disposal. Like, all of this is now something that Lurrus could cast. But got a little bit color screwed on the islands there. But I'm glad that it finally gave me Glacial Fortress just in time to Angrath my Lurrus. But yeah, move on. Alrighty then, we're in, and we've got turn 1 Herald with Sentinel's Eyes, plus backup with a Spell Pierce, actually. I'm going to keep this one. It doesn't have an Obsession in it, though, which makes it not the best hand it could be. But, you know, you can't get too much better than turn 1 Herald, turn 2 Protection. Llanowar Elves, alright. So I'm going to go Sentinel's Eyes so we can get the damage going. Gonna swing in, and I think at this early stage I might go Storm Tamer. That way I have that protection later down the line, but Spell Pierce for Nissa is, I'm assuming, what we're going to be facing. So they've got turn 3 Nissa as usual, but I have turn 3 Counterspell, so Yeet Richt. Yeah, we're just going to swing in with a lot. Yeah, tap land. I don't see myself using all 3 of these cards in the same turn, so we'll just do, like, Sailor, Spell Pierce, Nissa. Counter. Explode. Maybe. The turn's over. That being said, man's not that great. Could be better. But this might be all we need anyway. I'm just going to play Lurrus out. It's not as though I can do anything else but Spell Pierce, so... You going to go try for another Nissa? Manually floating. Yeah, it's got to be Nissa. No. Literally here for exactly that. Alright, get in. Yeah. Well played. Good game. Next game. Alrighty then, we're in. We got turn 1 Spectral Sailor, and then we got double Obsession. I'm pretty happy with this hand. The only thing it's really lacking is protection. We don't have an Alcide, don't have a Dive Down, don't have a Starlit Mantle. Any of those things would be really great. Maybe even a Spell Pierce as well, if it's anything like every Nissa matchup where we always have Spell Pierce ready. Oh, speak of the devil. Pass the turn. Are we going to get Thought Razored? Is that worth Spell Piercing? Not entirely sure. We are going to flash in the Sailor though, because they might have something they want to play here. It's going to be Esper Control. Yeah, there is. There is Thought Razor. Yeah, I'm going to flash in Spectral Sailor in response. They have to take Spell Pierce here, realistically. So if they were going to take the card that I was going to use to counter this anyway, I might as well just play something different. It's like, I'm always going to be attacking. If they don't take Spell Pierce, then they're not going to be able to stop my Spectral Sailor. I'm just going to go, like, Glacial Fortress, Obsession with Spell Pierce backup for cast downs. And other such removal. And you do not want to let me draw cards. It's not a tough choice. There we go. Alright. Now as it stands, the likelihood is that I want to just go with Staggering Insight. Since I can't protect my creature. So I might as well just go with the efficient play here. Get in, draw a card, try and replace Spectral Sailor. We've done it. Alright, so now... Wow, he doesn't die. That is crazy. That's what crazy people do right there, is not kill my Sailor. Alright, so... we are going to Curious Obsession Spectral Sailor. We'll be drawing 2 cards here. They know about the planes, but the Glacial Fortress is probably more likely to be good. We'll get in. We want to be looking for 1 mana spells that protect Spectral Sailor here. No. No. Oof. Alright, well, in that case, we'll just play the card they know. We'll pass the turn with Sailor backup, just in case we need to rebuild. Yeah, and Alcide is pretty damn crucial for us here, but they just don't seem to have any removal. So, let's see. We'll do that. They'll take the hand without the removal in it. Though I don't know if Oath of Kai has really good removal anyway, since we've got the Sentinel's Eyes turning it into a bigger creature. But if they take that trap, then that's fine. Yeah, really just not that fussed about what they're doing now. Siren Storm Tamer counters that Thought Erasure wonderfully. Alright, I want to leave open 2 mana for Storm Tamer plus spell that we might draw here, so let's just put Sentinel's Eyes on Spectral Sailor. We'll swing in with both of these. Put them to 6, and we need some protection. Staggering Insight, Storm Tamer. There's no reason we should play anything more. If they've got a board wipe, we're going to feel real bad. So we'll just pass. If they go for the Thought Razor, though, it probably means they don't have a good answer. They're going to need, like, Cry of the Carnarium, and that doesn't kill Spectral Sailor. And that kills them. So yeah, this looks like maybe either the swing before they scoop, or it's Kaya's Wrath. Okay. They had it. So they're up to 8. We are What are we doing here? Is this a Lurrus turn? Lurrus, Storm Tamer, untapped Hallowed Fountain. We get that protection. Play Storm Tamer to protect both us and our Lurrus. Yeah, we're just going to pass. We're going to be able to flip as Canter, so they could find more board wipes potentially. Which is where I'd really love a Spell Pierce, but we're kind of getting out of range of that working. They kept it. Another Atris. Target us. I think we'll do that. We got Storm Tamer to protect from, like, Elspeth Conquers Death here, so... They take the Thought Erasure hand and go for Thought Erasure. So... that is fine, because if they don't take all that glitters, they lose. And I've got one in the graveyard. I'm pretty sure I can all that glitters them to death if they don't take it. They might be inclined to take the Staggering Insight though, because it looks like it might be more powerful, but they really just do not want me attacking them with big power. Everything they take can be recast with Lurrus as well, so it's kind of a losing battle. They take Storm Tamer, so I think they lose. I think we've got enough to kill them here. Play the lands. Play all that glitters on Storm Tamer that they can't block. Oh, did we not have all the glitters in here? I thought we did. Well, maybe it was correct to do that then. We'll go with Staggering Insight. Staggering Insight from hand. It's +4, so then this is +1, +2, 6, that's not enough. We'll take Storm Tamer to protect from ECD. Swing. Yeah, had we had another All the Glitters in our graveyard, we'd have had that, but apparently we didn't. Actually, I missed lethal, didn't I? Sentinel's Eyes. I can cast that. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, I'm a silly sausage. I think we're still maybe okay, though. As long as they don't have Kaya's Wrath. Attack my hand, but I can recast Sentinel's Eyes, which is the power card here. Yeah, let's say 3. Free Fairy. Counter the trigger. No bounce. No, no, no. No bounce allowed. Sentinel's Eyes, Storm Tamer. Get rid of Sailor, Spell Pierce. That's 6. This is 8. This is 10. Alright, we missed lethal, but we were not punished. We were not punished, and we managed to outvalue our opponent. Good lord, that's too silly. Yeah, when it lights up with all this stuff, you think, oh, it's only castable. You forget the escape side of things with Sentinel's Eyes. That's something you definitely need to keep in mind, that not everything in your graveyard is only castable because of Lurrus. Sentinel's Eyes can indeed just be replayed. which was a mistake on my part, but, you know, it just delayed the inevitable victory, I guess, until the next turn. I say inevitable. It was pretty sketchy, but I think we could have maneuvered through that ECD, especially. I don't know. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's deck. This thing has been doing absolutely insane. I think it's got like an 80% win rate or something like that on Historic right now, from what I've played today, which is a small sample size, admittedly. But I really think there are some legs to this deck for sure. If there's another like Historic thingamajig, what do they call them now? Historic Showdowns, something like that, the competitive thing. I actually might consider taking this list in as a best of 3 deck. I think it's actually got some potential to win some games, so, you know, we'll stay tuned for that, I guess, and we'll give it a shot. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.